for me, the biggest thing was health concerns, overweight, and not fitting into my clothes the way that I wanted to. But the biggest challenge was health. The doctors did tell me that I needed to lose weight to address some of my health issues, like high blood pressure. I think that was the number one, was just the high blood pressure. So for me, prior to the program, I never really had a path that was sustainable for long-term weight loss and just, addressing those health issues. For the most part, I felt very frustrated in not having a path to health through my own body, my own program, so to speak. What you've given us is a path to our own, I shouldn't say our own, but what works for us over time. Mm-hmm. Because with the guidance and with the group coaching, you learn so many tools that will sustain you when you're not in, the coaching sessions or in the group sessions. And so that's what I mean when I say my own, because now I do own it. I do. They're my decisions with your tools, but they're my decisions. I could have done like I've done for the past 30 years, do a program, be very successful on the program, but not sustain what I've learned, not use the tools. And because this was such a lifestyle transformation, I'm able to own it and move forward. What comes to mind in terms of the group coaching and how it changed my habits, my patterns, lifestyle, is that we were all going through the same thing and found a way to support each other in what we were going through. No matter, 1 week I could be like Miss Negativity and the next week someone else could share how they were feeling not so great about whatever the challenge is, whatever breaking, whatever habits. But at the end, there was so much commonality in what we were going through that our successes became the group successes. Major win for me is not really the weight loss, not really even connecting with the women who I believe we will stay connected for this lifetime, because I really enjoyed meeting everyone and will support them throughout my life in anything that they're doing. But the major win for me is the sustainability, is actually changing my habits. Yeah, it's wonderful to have lost weight. It's wonderful to fit nicely in your clothes. But those are kind of, for me, short-term goals. The overall, for me, and I didn't even know it at the time, but it's how I have literally changed my habits, like completely have changed my habits, and how my immediate family are starting to change some of their habits. And I needed to, have things kind of spelled out, like, well, what do you do next? What do you do next? What do you do next? And to understand that we were doing it. Like, now I understand that the next we were doing. But it took me a minute to get that, because we're so used to, in any program, someone writing out our so specific routine that we can follow for 2 months, 6 months, whatever. But then as soon as they're no longer writing that out, we're lost. Whereas, you allowed us to develop our own pace, so to speak. It was 12 weeks, but within that 12 weeks, I don't think that, for me personally, the first few weeks were more, Laure, it's got to be more to this, Laure. And at the same time, I was doing it and developing habits. So the best thing about working with you, for me, has been experiencing your truth. And what I mean by that is, in a group setting, there's so many dynamics that come to play. And we all learned and I guess developed our tools, our skills from working with each other in the group. But we also learned and developed those skills because you came in your authentic self and shared with us your admiration for when we pushed through, persevered, but also checked us when we needed to be checked. And that's important, because had you just kind of laid back and allowed us, who didn't really know what we were doing, to take over, as sometimes women do, I don't think we would have been as successful. The educational aspect of the program is like going to university. You did the laser calls when we needed that extra support. And for me, it's like, we have the group sessions, but we also had some individual time with you. You truly showed up with your feminine wisdom, and just laid it out, but in a way that we understood it. Having the tools to live a life of good health and sustainability is what this program offered me. And they'll have to see what those tools are, just like I had to see what they are by joining the program. I would tell my earlier self to don't stress so hard on the losing weight part of it, that if you change your habits, that the losing weight part of it would be the easiest part of it. I've done more for myself in working with you and working on my gut than I have in all the years of doing those type of regimented workouts and exercise programs. I have lost a total of 30 pounds. And what I typically do is lose 15 on any program, or just self-guided. I lose 15 and I gain 15, and I lose 15 and I gain 15. And I've yo-yoed like that for, oh my goodness, a long time, at least 15 years, 17 years. I've yo-yoed between 15 pounds. Really, today, I look forward to being what my body is supposed to be. I resisted. I thought, whoa, where is the more? Where is the everything? And very early on, even in my stubbornness and my resistance, it was working. It was working. And so that gave me the motivation to move forward and to trust. The intense learning in those 12 weeks gets you to the beginning of a new way of life. I think it's really important when you're making a decision and you're making it based on money.
You muted again.
Community, assisting family members, that if you're not healthy, if you're not in a place within yourself, you know, mentally, physically, spiritually, to take care of you, then taking care of others will land you in the hospital, and then you can't be that blessing that you want to be. So I just simply want to say, give it a chance. Give it, do it. Not give it a chance, do it. And Laure gives you that pathway to take care of yourself.